So good evening everybody, myself Acharya Vishvendra, and today I shall be talking on the concept of hyper-dimensionality and its practical use in various life situations. So let's begin. Let's first understand the meaning of the term hyper. Hyper means something beyond normal. As we normally say that if somebody gets excessively excited to a certain event, then we say that yaar hyper mat hona. So hyper means which is beyond a normal, you say normal reaction to a certain situation. So in the same way, dimensionality means mutually independent things. So hyperdimensionality means accessing that level of consciousness which is beyond normal perception of five senses. That is accessing something beyond the fifth sense, or starting from the sixth sense, starting from the mind. So all those dimensions are called the hyper dimensions, and the concept is called hyperdimensionality. When your consciousness gets connected to something beyond the five sensory information. So there is the concept of hyperdimensionality. Just observe yourself and observe your mind, thoughts, emotions. Thoughts and emotions are not sensory information. You are sitting somewhere and you have thoughts of something else. So if you focus on the information sent to you by your five senses, that information is different and your thoughts are different. Suppose you are studying and you are thinking about something else. So when you are studying, then your five senses are stimulating you or providing you certain information regarding the present. But there is something in you which can access to beyond present things or beyond the five senses, which is the mind itself, which is capable to roam in past and future. So the things of past and future are an access to the hyper dimensions, and these are in fact responsible for every development. Behind every fundamental theory there are substantial examples to justify that. For example, you must have heard that the structure of benzene, the resonating structure of benzene and shifting of electron bonds in alternate pairs. So benzene got the idea of benzene, the structure of benzene, the resonating structure of benzene in his dreams. Even Albert Einstein, when he developed quantum theory of light, so the concept, the idea that light can be thought of as made up of photons, which fetched him Nobel Prize in 1929. So when somebody asked him how you came to know about this, so he said, I don't know, I just felt like something has, something has told me internally, or in a way I had access to some beyond perception, beyond normal perception things. And I felt like if we can think like this, then the results of photoelectric effect can be explained well. There are many other examples where one more example is that of Ramanujan, the famous mathematician. He said that when I sleep, then in my dreams there is some god, maybe some goddess was there, and I felt like there is a screen and blood is flowing in on that screen, and that goddess, she write the formulas of mathematics, basically on the number theorem, the certain number theorem things, and I just remember it. I'm just able to fetch that from the memory. And the weird thing about Ramanujan was that he just knew the answers without calculations. Normally when we solve a particular question, we follow certain steps. But the weird thing about Ramanujan was that he just knew the answer. He came to the answer without following the solution, without following the pattern. So it seems like he had connections to some hyperdimensional things, which made him fetch so difficult results. Even when he met Thomas Hardy, the famous mathematician of that time, and he sent him proof of more than 160 theorems on algebra and number theory, he was mesmerized by his ingenuity. It seems to him like there is involvement of some hyper-dimensional entity. Take another example of Nikola Tesla. He had the unique ability to see things in his vision. I mean, before developing something, he could imagine all the things in his mind. For example, when he developed the concept of AC, he just had a vision in his mind brain system that he had a 3D vision. It seems to him like a video is being played on that. And he felt like the concept of rotating magnetic fields. And that concept of rotating magnetic field was used to create alternating current. And he had more than, I think, 300 patents on his name. Even your satellite communication radar system, he developed so many things. AC generator, even the SI unit of magnetic field Tesla is to honor him. And all these people have a unique ability to get connected to certain dimension which is beyond present level of perception. That's why normal people are unable to do great things. They just think about food, water and reproduction. Their energies, their thought process, their everything is confined to the physical aspects of life, which is no doubt important and necessary for survival. But that doesn't make you human. Humans are, as I have realized, that there is no purpose of living like a human if we are unable to think beyond the physical dimensions or beyond the five senses. Sometimes I think, as I have realized, that we are trapped in a concentric layers of quantum levels of consciousness, and consciousness has the curiosity to move from one level to another. But during that transition, there is a negative emotion. There is a, you can say that there is a pool of negative emotions like fear, anxiety, depression, a root cause of which is fear. Just ask yourself, isn't there something which is trying to trap you in a certain belief system? There is something inside you which knows that death is certain and sure. Everybody has to die a day. Every relation, every materialistic possession, every information, everything that you consider as yours will vanish one day. And you'll be left with something which was always with you, which is always with you, and which will always be with you. Which is independent of space and time, which existed before the creation of the universe, which is within the universe, and which will be after the creation of the universe. In Hindu mythology, it's being referred to the Parbrahma, and according to Shiv Purana, Parbrahma is nothing but Mahakal himself, which is Anadi and Anant, which was always there, which is always there, and which will always be there. And this creation and destruction is due to the will of Mahakala. So, as per the theories of Shiv Purana are concerned, then everything that is happening is fundamentally controlled by Lord Shiva or Mahakala. And let's not focus on the words, but just focus on the process which I am referring to. There exists something which is everywhere, which is controlling everything, which is source of everything. Everything started from there and will vanish over there. And if we think like that, then the entire universe is just the brain of that thing, which is technically nowadays called as a Boltzmann brain, but according to Hindu mythology, that is Parbrahma, which knows everything, or the Purusha, as per Nachiketa and Yamaraj Samvada is concerned. So there is reference to hyperdimensionality.